Boxing experts have given their expectations in a response to the critical features of the Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol battle. Bivol could be the solitary competitor in this 175 pounds division, with the abilities important to conquer the brought-together boss, anyway unwinding better. BF's scary mix of persistent strain and hazardous power presents a considerable test. Somebody like that, in the event that you're simply going around, he'll menace. You want to get a regard from the start of some kind. However, you got to battle your blueprint. 2 Olympic star. Ben Whitaker told Sky Sports Whitaker in the meantime shunned offering a lot about his system for confronting Beterbiev. He added, I can't offer every one of the pearls. He chops down the ring quite well, and when you cut down the ring like that, you don't have to move all insane. He makes you move insane and walk you onto shots. Exceptionally cunning warrior. I'm energized for the battle. You can't box him and you can't battle him. I believe there's a period where you want to move and there's a period where you really want to keep your feet still. The thought is disrupting. Maybe the most scary contender in the game is Beterbiev. There is no other more startling, reflected Camille Zaretta, the middleweight who will box Chris Eubank Jr. on Saturday's show. He added, I wouldn't agree that since I'm not terrified of anybody, there is no trepidation for me of any rival. I would give my very best against Beterbiev. And it would be a road battle, me or him, in spite of its appearing oddity, taking Beterbiev on straightforwardly, and where he is most remarkable, maybe the best game plan. Whitaker will confront Liam Cameron on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Bivol. Cameron suggested that in the event that he needed to confront the brought-together top dog, would it be a good idea for me? I believe I will go in there and I will swing with him, since I'm not delaying the harm moving for him to get me when I'm drained. Attempt to jaw him early and quick battling as per your own style would be reasonable. I wouldn't can enclose move. And out for 12 adjust the way Bivol has that capacity to do, said previous world title challenger Matthew Macklin. He added, I'd stir it up box. Battling for me getting upheld by Beterbiev would be a debacle, assuming you're choosing for take the back foot and box somebody and take a bit of room and points that is altogether different from being pushed back and supported. You're being supported, you're feeling the squeeze, you're consuming anxious energy at a quicker rate than you might want to do so. You're getting constrained into committing errors. Emlyn further added, approaching it could appear as though more risky strategies, yet in some cases retaliating in the same way is truly more secure strategies. Some of the time backing up, you're welcoming more tension. Truly meeting it head-on, you could discourage it somewhat. It's something I would have needed to have figured out and stay optimistic. Hypothetically, the best procedure against Beterbiev is use footwork, light development, and fast blends. This is unequivocally the battling style that Ball has created and refined throughout his profession. European cruiserweight champion Jack Massey contended that to approach Bivol, you've recently got to stick and move, box and move, box and move, not let him track you down. I'm edging towards Bivol. I accept he can outbox him. We'll see. I believe it's an extraordinary battle he was settled upon by Giopaya, who faces Massey on Saturday's bill to safeguard the IBF cruiserweight title. You must do correct lie what Ball excels at and continue moving and cutting points. He's an extraordinary warrior. It's an extraordinary chess match. This battle, it's an ideal stroll forward warrior against an ideal significant distance footwork warrior, Aya told Sky Sports. He added, I'm inclining a bit towards Bivol on the grounds that I'm seriously boxing cutting points. I like that boxing more than that front foot kind of style, yet it won't be a simple battle. The failure will be the one that commits the most errors. I accept the two of them have the instruments to beat one another, yet whoever goofs the most or commits the second off-base error will address the cost. These are the top contenders. On the off chance that you commit an error, you will pay dearly. There is a recipe: never punch or step erroneously, be faultless for an entire 12 adjust that hasn't been improved. Bev, yet the main light heavyweight who could possibly is Dmitry Bivol for some boxing aficionados. The headliner of Saturday's Riyadh season program is the most elite for various reasons. Individuals have been pushing for Beterbiev versus Bivol to battle for the past couple of years. In the first place, this matchup highlights two unbeaten warriors, both at the zenith of their abilities in the light heavyweight division, at long last getting down to business to figure out who reigns as a definitive boss. Also, the differentiating styles make an enrapturing standoff, with Beterbiev's forceful forward squeezing technique conflicting against Bivol's deft and talented footwork. Quite extreme childhoods have helped transform Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol into two of the best warriors of the world before their conflict. On DAZN, preceding their matchroom, President Heron, who upholds Bivol, gave a discourse where he examined their climb to the highest point up the game and commended their determination and accomplishment. Here said the two people have devoted their lives to the game. I'm certain without realizing a lot of the two childhoods were quite extreme and humble, most definitely, yet the two people have taken the actions and their vocation to follow their fantasies. Here for me, you have two of the best warriors on the planet, two pound for pound extraordinary. The battle which happens in the realm field in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, is the most expected significant occasion in the country and sets two unbeaten rivals in opposition to one. Another BBF stands apart with a scary record, having gotten knockout triumphs in the entirety of his expert battles. Hearn perceives that confronting him will introduce an imposing test. Hearn added, such countless warriors have had achievement right on time against Beterbiev, yet no one has had the option to keep him off her. The span it will take an expert fighter like Dmitry Bivol to do it. I truly think this is the best battle in boxing. Dmitry Bivol doesn't think her better. Bev, who is older and regularly injured, has gotten any more slow. Bivol told Boxing Scene, I feel astonishing before the main battle of my life. Simply see his record to see the reason why he's a truly perilous warrior. It's demonstrated that he's perhaps of the most risky rival. He has the right stuff. He's not just only a decent puncher, he's a great and shrewd warrior. He has insight and a boxing intelligence level. He has 3 belts. For a justification for his age, he has great molding. I simply should act naturally and enhance my abilities. You can't get ready to get punched. You need to get ready not to get punched. Bivol, age 33 and better, Bev 39, were at first set to conflict on June 1st. Anyway, the session was deferred when Beterbiev supported a cracked meniscus. During preparing this injury is one more option to the broad rundown of actual difficulties he has looked as of late. Bev added, I will attempt to do the entirety of my best in the event that I can attempt to complete the battle. Obviously, I will involve the open door in my mind. I'm continuously pondering how to win this battle and how to make all that ideal. I'm not believing about the knockout, to tell the truth, in a takeoff from his common preparation grounds in Indio, California. Ball went through 3 weeks leveling up his abilities in the carpet huge piles of Kyrgyzstan. Following that, he committed 45 days to serious preparation in Turkey, eventually moving to Riyadh for the last 14 days, paving the way to the battle. Ball added, my body is somewhat unique in relation to when I was planning for Canelo Alvarez quite a while back. My molding mentor can see and is giving me new and various activities simultaneously. However, it's a comparable program. If Bivol figures out how to overcome Beterbiev, he will have David Benavidez, the WBC obligatory challenger, sitting tight in line for a shot at the title. Furthermore, Ball should seriously think about moving forward to cruiserweight to take on Jay Opa, who is booked to contend on the undercard against Jack Massey. Additionally, Bivol could reignite interest in a hotly anticipated rematch with Alvarez. Bivol added, to be straightforward, I have no plans regarding who I will battle next. I couldn't say whether the rematch would be more awful for Canelo. I'm not contemplating Canelo. I held up 18 months, and it was just talk and no activity or discussions. It's a shut subject. I'm occupied with Beterbiev. We'll see what occurs after. Bivol proceeded to say that overcoming Beterbiev would be a more prominent expert accomplishment than his notable triumph over Alvarez by means of consistent choice. He said, both are significant, yet with the belt, obviously the Beterbiev win would be more significant for my spirit than Canelo. It is a big deal to me. For me, Canelo was a stage to have gigantic battles in my profession. It was an incredible chance for me to show the world that I'm a decent fighter, and for them to focus on me. I demonstrated that I was great and championed. Commendable battle. Sports writer Ariel Helvani recommends that the spotlight of the impending standoff could steer the results for one contender, albeit the two contenders have partaken in prominent matches. Helvani fights that Beterbiev's broad experience as a main event gives him an unmistakable benefit over his more youthful opponent. Beterbiev is accustomed to being the man on the enormous stage. Helvani said on Dunes Roundtable, close by Darren Barker, Joseph Parker, and host Aude Oladipo. He added, he battles in Canada, he's selling out those shows, he's the main event. Helvani featured the distinction between Beterbiev's broad experience featuring various occasions and Bivol's successive non-attendance from the headliner, in spite of being perceived as one of the strong competitors in the light heavyweight division. Bivol, some of the time I think, avoids the huge stage. Helvani said, taking note of that Bivol was not the superstar, even in his effective title safeguard against Canelo Alvarez. Helvani added, it didn't feel like the show was worked around him. And how about we be straightforward? He was a digit of a bit player against Canelo, so there will be a ton of strain come that battle week. BBV is utilized to that pressure. He's utilized to the spotlight. I'm considering how Bivol handles all of that when Barker provoked him to expound on why the May 2022 battle with Canelo shouldn't factor into Bivol's evaluation. Helvani explained that Bivol felt no tension at all since the Mexican star was the essential draw that night. Helvani said that was about Canelo. The narrative of that battle was Canelo going up and Bivol was a bit player. The story wasn't Canelo versus Bivol, it was Canelo attempting to go up to 175 and do the business. There now, this is Bivol BBV. It's 50 by 50. There are bad to the bone Bivol fans, and there are bad to the bone BBF fans, as I'm interested the way in which he manages it.